Previously.
モグラを追うヤガミたちに松金組の包囲網が狭まっていく。1年前、海東の波紋をきっかけに塗り替えられた松金組内部の勢力図。だが全ては仕組まれていた。裏社会の掟に翻弄されるカムロ町の男たち。いつかその流れに一矢報いようと彼らはあがき続ける。
Chapter 4 Skeletons in the Closet. Matsugane family office. This man Hammer's taking all this.
お前、なんで仕事手抜いてんのかな。
いえ、自分はそんな。
ならなんでまだターボがうろちょろしてんだよ。てめえがなってねえから舐められてんだろうが。
へい。
やっぱあの頭がいるとよ、事務所が窮屈でいけねえぜ。うん。ずっとうだうだ機嫌悪いし。
Uh-oh. What's happening here? Oh, damn. What did he do to that? Bro. Hello? Yay!
登場会系松金組事務所前で銃撃、一人死亡か。
死んだのは栗本って組の古株だ。流れ弾で片木にも怪我人が出てる。
栗本？
いや、お前は知らねえかもな。別に目立つやつじゃなかった。
犯人は自称会社員。その場で現行犯逮捕。
そいつは教令会の送り込んだ鉄砲玉だ。
間違いないのか？
ああ、昨べ東から聞いたんでな。
へえ、この間俺らに銃向けてたあいつが。
そう言ってやるなよ。あいつの話じゃ犯人は栗本の体にまず弾を4発で、とどめに両目を撃ち抜いた。
Jesus.
要するに教令会からモグラへの報復だ。だがこうなると松金組どころか登場会本家も黙ってねえ。
教令会との報復合戦になるか。
ああ、
But they really want to do
カムロ町
that?
は相当やべえぞ。東もそう言ってた。
Oh man, oh man. What's gonna happen?
銃撃の時は東も事務所にいたらしい。あいつんとこならまた何か情報が入ってきてるかもな。
So Higashi's still there at the arcade? God damn. Interesting. Why is Hoshino calling me? This is interesting.
もしもし。
This is Yagami.
八神さん、
You gotta help me. What's the matter? There's been an incident in Genda law office. Oh, this is that Hoshino. I forgot. It's been a while since I've taken like a gander at like what characters are what, because we haven't done a lot at Genda law office. It's been way too long. Alright, I guess we have to go there now. Does this mean we can't go see Higashi? Because we gotta go see Higashi. Now on that note, it's been a while since I've said this, but sup everybody, my name is Crytek N-Bomb. And welcome back to some more judgments. We are finally out here in the 4th chapter, and it looks like something interesting is going to happen right there. I'd like to not encounter these, but I don't think it's that bad. So, while I'm on the subject of things, let's go ahead and just run ourselves there. I have been thinking a lot about how I want to go about doing my skills and whatnot, but I think I already said that on episode. It's been far too long. What the f- Yo, you did not have to do him like that. Right, you did not have to do him like that. That was fucked up. Oh god. Lost my thought process after that. But what is over here? I'm curious. Anything that's near this location, something maybe? Someone familiar maybe? Or something new? Newscaster. We go now to the bombing incident in Kamurocho, where it seems to have an update on the device found at the scene. Still looking into the bombing. Is it from that last time that we did that? According to the newly released police reports, the bomb was handcrafted, included a remote control timer. The police are continuing to search for any evidence that may lead to the culprit. Citizens are encouraged to call the police should they have or seen any suspicious persons or unattained bags. In other news, the baby panda born last month continued to show healthy growth, and I don't give a fuck. So basically, they're still hoping to find a lead. Please don't do this right now. I guess it's too late for that, huh? It must be that bomber again. Hello. The police are useless. Wouldn't you agree, Yagami-san? That bomber strikes again. I don't even think I can ignore it because it just kind of like throws me into it, doesn't it? We'll do this. Are you a bomber? Why do you know my name? I've done my homework. You're a private eye, aren't you? That's none of your business. Don't be like that, Yagami. This is fun, isn't it? Shut the hell up, girl. Are you sure it's wise to take this attitude with me? Would you rather try to find the next bomb without any hints? What? Haha, that certainly changed your tune. I can hear it in your voice. I can feel the tension rising. What do you get out of this? What's your motive? Kamurocho security center full of holes. The city should have sunk by now. No. Don't you feel like a fool for paying taxes when this is what the government has to show for? A criminal wasting tax dollars on bombs has no business bringing that up. Damn. He has a point though. I like your style, Yagami-san. While I would love to debate this further, I'm afraid time's running short. Let's get started, shall we? Bastard! This new bomb I've set up in Kamurocho packs a real punch. There's an ox inside the inn. That's where you'll find it. An ox inside the inn. Ox in an inn. I have an idea where this is at. There's only one ox I've seen, I think, so we're gonna go check there. I'm guessing this ox right here, right? Is there one inside the inn somewhere, maybe? There's not an inn, there's a restaurant. Shit. Hotel district's up here. That's why. shit. I only have 3 minutes. Not good.
I don't know what happened here exactly, but the audio
Oh,
got
wow, they
really
eventually give you
bad
option for
here.
it. I didn't even know
So,
about
sorry
that.
about that.
Kashimaru to Kashimaru location Kamurocho must be an inn that comes into play. So that's when it talks about that. So this is where I'm at now. I'm in the hotel district, and this is this area here. So it's here? Really? I was actually gonna check this area too. When they talked about inn, and I didn't think I thought I was in the right area, and I thought about it. I looked at the map, and I saw the inn. Oh wait, maybe the hotel district. I didn't realize that. I never really came over to this area. It's my fault, if I'm gonna be honest. But it is what it is. I feel like I could have figured this out without looking it up, because the way that they, you know, structured this. He just stopped and it's wonderful. You've done wonderfully, Yagami-san. Listen, you son of a... Hold your tongue. If you want something to blame, blame Kamurocho, not me. What do you mean? This couldn't happen if Kamurocho had invested properly in its security system. The automation of our lives. The citizens who accept it, the whole country is at fault. That anger I detect? What's wrong? You mad that nothing exploded? Save your taunts. You'll eat those words when you fail next time. Next time, hey! Okay, well, that's to be expected there. Anyways, while we're here, because I never really do this over here. Now that I know about this area, it's another Beeple area. We've only been to one of them, and it was the one that we've met the other guy. It's been too long, I forgot his name right. And I wish I could have prepared, you know, a little bit more properly for this, but I have ideas. Because I need to get rid of that bleed on my health. But, yeah, thanks for the meal. Glad you enjoyed it, sir. Thanks for always stopping by. By the way, have you heard we're adding a new entree? Can't wait to try it. Please do. I came up with the recipe myself, and I must say, it's one of my finest creations. Interesting. Are you the manager by chance? That's right. Call me Natsugawa. Natsugawa. I don't know if I'm going to remember your name, because the way I play this game is quite crunching the time limit. So we'll see if I remember you later down the road. I remember to come back here, though. But we got other places we got to check anyways, so until then, I'll see you soon. Okay, I had a feeling this is why I wanted to check over here. We're now in the new chapter, and here we got both of these friendships looking like they're raring to finish up. Or one of them practically finished with a Nose, and then we got Furuya over here. Good to see you, Nose-san. You too, Furuya-san. Thank you again for all your help. Come to think of it, this is the first time all three of us have met together. It is, isn't it? So how the collaboration coming along? Well, thanks to you and Furuya-san, Wet Kitchen agreed to be our partner for this project. Even through our campaign just started today, it's already beginning in the big. It's bringing in the big bucks. I almost read that completely wrong. Oh god! On top of that, thanks to the increase of profits, my bosses decided they won't be closing down the store. Now, I won't have any more nightmares about getting fired or getting my face dunked in the deep fryer. I'm glad you could finally work without buckling under all that pressure. Good for you. I owe it all to your valiant efforts, Yagami-san. I don't know how I can possibly repay you, man. It is what it is. Hey, with that, we're done with this. Feels good, man. Who would have thought this would have turned out the way it did? Finished both friendships right then and there. That's awesome. I love that. 2 for the price of 1. Oh, he gave me money? What the? Thank you, man. God damn. Alright, it's been a while since we've been over here. See how this guy is doing, Norimoto. Yeah, Norimoto-kun. I'll take a coffee, same as usual. Hi, Yagami-san. I'll show you to your seat. Seems like you and Miharu are getting along pretty well, aren't you? Haru told me the last time, but whatever that was, Jesus. Right. No way, man. I'm glad I took your advice. Did you go on a date yet? A date? No, I have no idea where to take her. Maybe you could think of somewhere for... Really? I am not doing that for you. Dude, why not just ask her yourself? On our first date, that'd be super lame. Dude, it's just as lame as asking somebody else, to be fair. You sure about that? Yeah, in this situation, man's gotta play smart and master the lady preference. Okay, but do you even know the lady preference to begin with? Nope. That's why I'm gonna ask if you could find out for me. Bruh. I have to do this. What happened to all that man talk? Sometimes even the bravest man needs backup. Please, will you be my wingman? Dude, you are so stupid. Oh my god. Look, I don't mind helping if I were in this situation, but I don't like doing that. I've done that before in real life. It's pretty funny that I've done it in real life, but I was covering for a friend. It wasn't a big deal, the story to really talk about, but I have done something like that for a friend. Or I just helped the guy out a little bit, just to give him a little nudge, because he was uncertain of whether he liked this girl that he liked, and he wanted confidence to tell her how he feels, and he eventually didn't, and it was pretty awesome. I helped him through that whole process. I don't know why he came to me asking for him, because I'm usually for myself, and if I'm being honest, I'm a single dude. I don't think I'm ever going to get into a relationship like that, but I do want to be in more relationships with other people, which is why doing YouTube is something I really like doing. It's something that I love to do. On that concept of YouTube, if it wasn't for YouTube, I probably wouldn't have changed as much as I have with the way I speak. It's a big deal to me, and I don't want that to ever change, you know? It's a big deal to me. How much I've grown just by me just talking to myself while playing a video game, right? But I talk to my friend the same way I do now, so that's never gonna change. Oh, what the heck is going on here? At the Genda law office, what's going on here? Sorry, you did it, so admit it already. I told you I didn't do it. There's no point in lying. Sayori's raising her voice?
Nah.
Hey.
Yagami-san.
Yagami-san, you came. Who's the lady in the back again? I forgot her name. Mafuyu, okay. Yes, right. I'm sorry, Mafuyu. It's been too long. Actually, it's been longer than I give it credit for, but it's been a while nonetheless. Mafuyu's here? You just noticed her? Why is Mafuyu here, though? It is serious. As you can see, Sayori's side and Mafuyu's side have accused me of a crime. A crime, huh? Yeah, I'm innocent, I tell you. Oh, here we go. Why Mafuyu? Why indeed, but why would I even say this? You know I'm saying this.
Nah.
That's okay. What does Sayori think you did? I didn't do anything. She just upset about her stupid cake. What? I don't understand. Her cake? Yes, I've been accused of eating the cake that she had in the fridge.
Huh?
This is not just an old stupid cake we're talking about. It's from Goto-Gateo? I think I'm saying that wrong. From a special place, huh? It's a special cake that I waited in line for hours to get. Oh, yeah, she has every right to be upset. Is this really happening right now? Well, why Mafuyu? In that case, why is Mafuyu involved? I'm not. I just happened to drop in on a work-related issue, and you got caught in the middle of this. How unfortunate is that? You got dragged into this. Sayori's pretty worked up. I made inquiries, and it sounds like Hoshiro is really the only one who could have done the deed. That's why Mafuyu is prosecuting the case for me. Well then, why did Hoshiro call Yagami then? Is that how it is prosecuting? I don't know, man. Why is Hoshino being suspected?
Nah.
Okay, I'll bite. Why is Hoshino-kun the most likely suspect? Hoshino was the only one who even knew about the cake. Oh. Only because she was bragging about having got it in the first place. How did that make me a suspect? Okay, we need facts. The cake was last seen. When was it last seen? I went home around 8 p.m. last night. The cake was most certainly in the fridge at the time. I can't believe we're doing an interrogation about a cake. This is great. I was here for 2 hours, so after that, nobody else came in. Then, presuming Hoshino-kun is innocent, it had been eaten between 10 p.m. and this morning. Are you sure you locked it up in the office? Yes, I'm sure. Jeez. There's no sign of forced entry, so I think the rules out any external parties as a culprit. Ah, okay. And who could have unlocked the office in the morning then? Genda got here before me and he left as soon as I came in. Oh. After that, Mafuyu-san arrived. Sorry-san was the last to arrive. That's when I discovered my cake was gone. Obtained evidence. Oh, great. But that would mean Genda-sensei is also a suspect. He could have eaten it while he was alone in the office. No way. Genda-sensei is a Japanese sweets man. He doesn't go for the Western cakes and pastries. That's your justification, although I guess he wouldn't have much of a motive if that's true. You're up against a wall, Hoshino-kun. Why don't you just come clean? Mafuyu-san, please, I'm telling you, I didn't do it! Mafuyu, stop looking at him. This is hard to watch. The longer you hide from your crimes, the heavier your sentence is going to be, Hoshino. Objection! Okay, interesting. If you ask me, Mafuyu-san, it's pretty suspicious too. Excuse me? Did you just yell objection for the fun of it? I mean... And do you care to tell the court what you meant by that little comment? After Mafuyu-san came in, I left my desk to go to the bathroom. Let's just say I was gone for about 15 minutes. Let's just say... Bro, you had the worst case scenario, I see. Mafuyu-san could have easily scarfed down the whole cake in that time. Huh? Why would I? This is a basic conjecture. Do you have any evidence to back up your statement? Actually, I do. Really? Don't think I didn't hear it. You came in here this morning. Your stomach growled. What the fuck? What? You heard that? It's kind of weird, dude. You skipped breakfast this morning, didn't you? Naturally, you'd be hungry. You figured you'd just peek in the fridge, and that's what you discovered, an exquisite little cake. You couldn't help yourself. You dug right in. Am I wrong? Huh? Yes, you are, as a matter of fact. Besides, a growling stomach is hardly admissible evidence. So I see Mafuyu's involvement, I guess. Gami-san, you're up. I am. Please, take my case and defend me. If you don't, Sirius-san will glare at me for the rest of my life. Sounds like you did this to yourself, man. You could have, like, avoided a possibility of you taking the cake. Well, if we're talking business, I guess I could take this one. Counting on you. Okay, apparently this is really happening. So the first place a good lawyer starts in the crime scene. Yeah. Wonder if the wrapper is still in the trash. This is a side case? Well, we are now in an official side case and an official main story as well. By the way, Mafuyu's looking kind of nice. I'm gonna be honest. You looking good, Mafuyu. I'd still ship you and Yagami together, by the way, but it is what it is. There isn't much to really look at, right? You can't check in the fridge, right? So I guess you gotta check the garbage first. Where is the garbage? Is it in here? Seeing the trash can is empty, it's usually bursting at the seams. Take out the trash every day. now on a rotating shift. Who was in charge of it today? Genda Sensei. Even Genda Sensei pitches in? Well, it's more of a punishment for him. Sorry-san made him do it. Genda Sensei is really lazy about sorting his trash, so I kind of blew up on it. What? Don't you even consider people who have to take the trash out? Okay, I understand. Alright, so I understand. Then he said he'd start pitching in on trash shitting. Surprised you had the gut to say that to him. Yeah, he could have yeeted you, but you know, I don't think he would have wanted to do that. He knows your good graces. Seems Genda says that he takes the tragedy seriously. And all the other trash cans are taken out. The cake must have had a wrapper. Is there anywhere else it could have been thrown away? I suppose it could have been washed out with the rest of our containers in the kitchen. Let's have a look. Finding a wrapper is going to blow this case wide open. Really? Really? I heard a cat, so I was curious where it was at. So the freaking cat is right there, bro. What? What the hell? So how do I get into the fridge, or do I have to investigate the kitchen first? I guess investigate the kitchen first. No wrappers. Looks like we've got some milk cartons. Why would they just leave the milk cartons there? They've been washed out and neatly compacted. Those are some milk cartons. They weren't there last night, so whoever was on clean duty must have done it. Teresa scolds anyone who doesn't tidy up after themselves. The three of them. She's not drinking that much milk, is she? Kinda doubt it. Maybe she threw them out for some reason. This is the refrigerator where the crime happened. The ice tray is melted. Or did someone forget to freeze it? Nah, couldn't be. Nobody's using ice in the winter, probably. And I didn't see anyone use it yesterday. Then why did it melt? That's interesting. Melted ice. You're gonna have to explain to me how that makes any sense, Hoshino. And I didn't realize this is the Hoshino we talked to about from Yosuke. Is this guy really a pervert though? I mean, I never would have thought Hoshino would be that. I guess I may have looked into that a bit wrongly in the past episode, but also Sayori's always looking lovely, even if she probably doesn't tidy herself looking spiffy like how Mafuyu over here be looking fancy looking. But I'm just saying. Alright, Yagami-san, are you finished with the investigation? If so, we should start the hearing. The hearing? Are we really going to trial with this? Of course! Mafuyu, or should I say Prosecutor Fuji, are you prepared to present your case? Fine, I've been dragged in this far, may as well see it through. Then court is now in session. For the defendant, Issei Hoshino, Prosecutor Fuji, your opening statement, please. Well, the prosecution is firmly of the belief that Hoshino-kun is the only viable culprit. And your proof? The defendant is arguing that you yourself could be the culprit. Your Honor, I have a counter-argument to that assertion. Proceed, Prosecutor Fuji. If I had been the one who ate it, someone or something that should be present is missing from the crime scene.
Yagami-kun.
Right, Yagami-kun. You can corroborate this statement, I take it. Me? If you really ate the cake, something that should exist is missing. The proof that it is the trash can? Or maybe this? Obviously, if the cake was eaten, I guess something does seem kind of strange about it. Because the fact that before you eaten it was probably because of this. At the scene was empty because the contents were removed this morning. Yes. Which means if Mafuyu had eaten the cake, she would have had to discard the wrapper afterward. And since we all confirmed that the trash can is empty, oh, you have a point. Right, there's no wrapper in the trash can, which means I couldn't have eaten the cake. And we've thoroughly searched every trash can. They're all clean as a whistle. I see. This is pretty conclusive evidence. Oh, it is, Terry-san. I can present a counter-argument here. The court will hear the defense's objection. While the wrapper may not be in the trash can, we can't rule out that you didn't hide the evidence. What? Objection? Predictable, Yagami-kun. I'd like to present the court with some new evidence. New evidence? While you were searching the room, I performed my own investigation naturally. That's when this document series just caught my eye. What is this? It's a notice of a planned power outage. What?
Eh?
Relevance, prosecutor. Relevance, notice of power outage. Seems there was a blackout last night scheduled from 11 p.m. to 9 a.m. this morning. I do remember Genda Sensei saying something about it. Between the night before and the next day, I don't understand how it could turn out like this, but a planned power outage though? That's a bit evil, dude. He warned the whole office not to keep anything in the fridge or it would spoil, so that's probably why it was taken out. Maybe that would explain the melted ice, right? Yeah, it would. Oh, I remember that too. But I had something urgent come up, so I left and forgot all about it. Then that means... Precisely. The cake was left inside the fridge with no power on, it would have spoiled. Despite being winter, it's been unseasonably warm. And if anyone ate it, they know it was spoiled after a single bite. Right. No way anyone would go through eating the whole thing. But the whole cake has vanished. Someone must have devoured the fresh cake. And there's only one span of time where that's possible. Not this morning after the cake has been spoiled, but last night when it was still fresh. So whoever was in here last night... I'm sorry, Hoshino. Afraid so, Hoshino-kun. The one who could have eaten it. The one who closed up. Hoshino, it can only be you. No! Hey! Should I object to this? I feel like we should not overlook Genda. I feel like we should not overlook Genda. You know, even though Sayori is pretty strong to think that he wouldn't go for the other types of sweets, sweets are sweets. People will like it. Even if it's not, you know, to the usual type of liking. You can't rule out that Genda probably could have done it. Objection! Excuse me? The defense have further arguments. Yes, I think it's too early to pronounce a verdict. There's still one more possibility. This better be good. Cake wasn't the only thing that went missing from the fridge, and I have evidence to prove it. Oh yeah! Should I really be mentioning that? But it does say it disappeared from the fridge with the ice. But should I put that? I guess that is the only thing that makes the most sense, wouldn't it? The only thing that's missing from there is this. Well, we could just search that too, why not? Now I think about it, I have the court to consider this. That disappeared from the fridge? Didn't it? Why are you the one asking me to confirm it? Do you really have evidence? Yes. I can't. That's why I fucking knew it, dude. I fucking knew that probably wasn't gonna work, but it felt like it was leading up to this. You know what? What the fuck? Maybe this. I should need to compact it. In other words, the milk was removed from the fridge, 3 cartons to be precise. Genda says they must have done it during his cleaning duty. An act forced upon him by the victim himself. I'm not following you, Yagami. Let's consider what would drive Genda Sensei to do this. Why would he discard 3 milk cartons at once if there was some left? You're right, that certainly is an odd thing to do. Why? There was one particular piece of evidence that points to the logic behind his actions. I mean, are we gonna talk about cleaning duty again? Or do we go back to this on the planned power outage? To get 3 milk cartons, this would make the most sense.
これが証拠だ。
Defense, does this sign of reasoning have a point? What would happen to the milk left in the fridge for a whole night without electricity? I believe it would go bad. If Genda Sensei, who on cleaning duty found the milk that had gone bad, he probably would throw it away. Then... Seeing the prosecution is beginning to see the light. Which means the true culprit that ate Sarita's cake... Hoshino, Mafuyu! Nobody. I bet you nobody ate it. Probably someone threw it away because it probably went bad. No one ate the cake! In other words, there's no culprit to blame. I can't believe this! You're implying Genda Sensei threw away the spoiled cake. Hey, I can see that happening. Yeah, that's about the sum of it. Sarisa said herself that she hurried home last night due to an urgent matter. The outage slipped her mind entirely. Thus, when Genda Sensei found the cake had spoiled, he did his duty and discarded it. So you're saying I kind of jumped to conclusions? Hey, Genda, you want to confirm it for me? Ooh. Wow, quite a crowd in here. Brings you by, Yagami and Mafuyu. Welcome back, Genda Sensei. Say, who left the cake and all that milk in the fridge overnight? Didn't I practically beat you guys over the head about the power outage? And on that day I had cleaning duty of all days. It's rude to make people throw away spoiled food, you know. Let's go! I freaking called it! I had a feeling nobody ate it. I thought about that, bro. It'd been funny if you did it all along, but nah. It makes the most sense. If it stayed out overnight, he had to have thrown it away. Oh, poor Celia. Oh, this is great. I believe the words were, don't you even consider the people who have to take the trash? You did say that to him, didn't you, Siri? Man, you really just did him like that. Unfortunate. Your words, right? Shirosaki-kun. Well, having to deal with all that spoiled food, I understand the meaning all too well now. I'm so sorry.
Thank
you, Yagami-san. It looks like I'm cleared of suspicion. And I sent Sari-san to cleaning duty for 1 month straight starting tomorrow. There's no words to express my remorse. Hey, you're cute. It's all good. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. This was amusing. And I feel you must have enjoyed yourself too. God damn, thank you. As my defense attorney, I'd like you to have this. Decent in. I gotta say though, I'm pretty shocked. Teresa stays cool under pressure, but as soon as sweets get involved, you have no idea how long I've been looking forward to that cake. Oh, I can appreciate that, but as lawyers, we need to keep our heads on straight at all times. I'll work on that. Case closed, I guess. A pretty turbulent day for the criminal justice system. Kamurocho is pretty tense right now. No thanks to the Matsugane family and the Kuroi clan at each other's throats. Yeah, let's just spice a little gang action because there is that other gang, I forgot the name of them. They're around there. Better ask Higashi about it. Damn, that was awesome. Mafuyu gone? Aw, poor Mafuyu gone.
うん。
八神さんの知ってる人ですか？
いやー、特別面識はなかったよ。あ
Wait.
れ、もしかして心配してくれてた？
いえ、別に。
Oh, Kamurocho. Oh. I'm guessing I had met somebody?
松金組の人が撃たれたそうですけど。
うん。
八神さんの知ってる人ですか？
Oh, so
いや
that's
ー、
who she was
特
talking
別面
about.
識はなかったよ。
いえ。
Ah, so that's who she was talking about. I was confused because I was like, what? She talking about the shooting that literally happened at the beginning of this chapter. Very interesting, however, but I don't know how to feel about it either.
よう八神、頭からクレームが来たぞ。
あ
Onto office
あ、
case.
すいません。
いや、それはいいんだがよ。
ええ。もう向こうも俺に構ってる場合じゃありませんから。昨べ、松金組の人間が撃たれたんです。
This is about
た
him.
く、またしばらく荒れそうだな、カムロ町は。
Interesting. Well, with that in mind, I guess I'll have to come back to the Genda office in the future for any further arrangements. I guess we can focus on what we got going on. Miharu! Hello! I had to run away from some goons to get over here, Jesus.
Yo.
Hey there, Miharu. Be seated. I gotta ask you a few questions about Norimoto if you don't mind. Oh yeah, I can't tell you about him. But on that note, learn a little about you and what your preferences. Going, I guess. Do talk whenever we're on the same shift. But nothing's moved beyond that, huh? No, but at least we have fun talking. He seems genuinely interested in me. And says some pretty funny stuff. Okay. You guys like gone out anywhere? You got me, bro. Straight to the point though. Nope, not yet. I see. So, if he was to ask you out, let's just say, what would be your ideal time together? You mean on a date? I mean, I guess a normal would be fine. Define normal. Okay. How about going to look at the dolphins at the aquarium? You like dolphins, huh? They are cute. Aren't they? They have these sparkly little eyes and adorable little flippers. I could just die from the cuteness. Okay. Sounds like someone really likes her marine and mammals. All I'm trying to say is it'd be nice to go to an aquarium with a guy I really like, dolphins or not. Well, I have a funny feeling you'll be able to very soon. Call me psychic or whatever. What the f... You got me. Why would... No. You'd have to say it like that. You're joking, right? Don't say such random things. Nah, I'm totally serious. Honestly? I hope your prediction comes true, you got me, son. Thanks for the meal, Miharu-chan. See you. And with all that, we can go see what's going on with Higashi. And while we're on our way to Higashi, I might as well do this real quick.
Yagami-san.
We had started this way back when with the Ikinari Steak, this fancy restaurant with the convenient president just sitting outside and grandma staring at us from the inside? What the hell? Anyways, good to see you too, President Ichinose. Are you here to supervise again? That's right. After all, my management philosophy has always been let customers be the judge, wasn't it? Bingo. You got it word for word. Let me ask you something. When you think of a successful manager, what qualities come to mind? Successful manager, huh? Let me think here. Someone who makes the profit, someone who's extremely innovative, someone with a lot of subordinates, someone with authority. When I think about somebody, the manager, I think that they're extremely innovative, person with authority, and rakes in the profit. But it's usually all of these, right? All of these relate to being a manager, right? Sometimes it's usually just the authority, but I feel like if somebody's managing, they're the people that are you know, helping to be creative, right? I'd have to say a manager who can create something both innovative and useful. Not everyone had that kind of mind. I see. Was I wrong? Well, when I think of what a successful manager should be, I think of it as someone who puts the customer first. What do you mean? For example, we create a restaurant that doesn't make the customer choose between quality and affordability. Instead, we give the customer both, and that way the customers win both ways. I mean, you aren't wrong, right? And if our customers feel like they're being put first, then they'll keep coming back. That means if our customers win, then as far as I'm concerned, so do we. Yeah. It's just like player retention in video games. You need more people to play a certain video game if you want that stuff to be popular. It doesn't matter how good the game is. You have a lot of people playing it. That means a lot more than just someone who spends a lot on it. But it goes both ways. So it always is good to have these things. And from this point of view, it seems pretty good. If you can, you know, relate to the people that come to a restaurant to eat, it's really nice. That's a great philosophy to have. No wonder they made you president. Nah. What can I say? Man's being very punctual right now. Oh, he had to go to me again. Brother, you're here again? It's almost time for your meeting, remember? You need to get back to the office right away. Sorry, I'm Multimoricon. It's time already. Trying to make you rush. I believe you now, Yagami-san, so I hope to see you soon. Yeah, same man. Until then, successful manager is one who puts his customer first. That way both parties win. That's how it should be. It's the same with like video games. If you pay attention to your player base and want them to be what makes the game great, then everyone will always play it because everyone will be able to get what they want. And it's always nice to be able to rack in more money while being able to make the game more popular in a way of pleasing everybody. It always is a beautiful thing to see, but I don't know if you really see that in video games nowadays. It's like, there probably is games out there that are like that, but games that are played for the longevity, it's not really easy to notice these things. Now, there is a friendship in here, in the batting center, and I've wanted to see this for some time. I'm going to save this for a future episode, however. But yeah. Okay, Higashi. We are here. We are back here to talk to you yet again, mate. Hey, you wouldn't mind me walking past you without screaming like a bitch? Okay.
Yagami!
Hey, what's up, man?
何しに来てんだお前
I'm just here to talk.
お邪魔かだもし頭に見られたらお前
ん
あいやそんなに心配することはないかもう頭もお前に構ってる場合じゃねえし
He's in no
昨夜の
position
銃撃事件のせいでか
because of the shooting.
そのすぐ後頭は事務所を出てそれっきりだ
Really?
殺が来た時にはとっくに雲隠れしてたよ
I see. They might suspect him, probably, huh?
ぼさっと突っ立ってんのは一応客なんだからよたく座れ
昨べから松金組は大変だね
ああ事務所は殺でごった返してる俺もこれ吸い終わったら行くんだけどよ
何しに
事務所の守り固めにだ組の者は全員招集かけられてる
なるほどそれにしてもなんで協励会は急にやる気になったんだ今までおとなしくしてたのに
今向こうのナンバー2ってのがカムロ町に来てんだよ関西の方からわざわざな
ナンバー 2?
Number 2.
協励会の若頭で塩谷聡バリバリの武闘派でゆくゆくは小馬会長の後目だ
Why?
じゃあ昨べの銃撃はそいつの指図
ああしかも塩谷が本当に狙ったのは多分羽村の頭だ
Really? That's gonna start a
なん
war.
でそんなことが
He wants to start a war then.
わかるんだなこいつは
He really
夕
wants
べ
to start
殺さ
working
れた
after.
栗本の写真だがよ
どぎついな。
両目を打ち抜かれてる。ただ見せたいのは顔じゃねえ、服装の方だ。
この服がなんだって？
昨日は頭もこんなジャージを着てたよ。栗本とは年も背格好も似ている。頭も気づいたはずだぜ。本当は自分が狙われたってな。
So the Kyoto attack was meant for Hamura specifically. So that explains why he went into hiding. It's not even because of the cops, because he knew that he was the real target, not the Tojo clan. I wonder why go against the Matsugane family though.
なるほど。
I mean, that guy must really hate Hamura.
笑っちゃ悪いのかな。
お前、ずいぶん余裕だな。頭を狙う強霊会にしたらよ、それを無罪にした連中も十分的になる。そうじゃねえか。
じゃあ俺も狙われるの？
いや、お前より新谷ってやつの方が。
Yeah, that sounds about right.
法廷で弁護してたのはあいつだろ。
Good extra defense, yes.
ああ。
Now that I think about that, it's
極道に
true.
狙われたらひとたまりもねえぞ。まあ俺が新谷の身内なら一言警告してやるとこだ。
Damn. I haven't heard from him in a while though, Chitane. So I'm a little bit worried now with all things concerned.
Kim さん？
よう優等生やろ。元気だったかい？
お前誰だ？
京浜同盟の葛西だ。
Oh, the King gang, that guy.
なんでお前が？
八神さん、相手にしちゃダメです。
Oh, is Kim
大丈
gang
夫？
fucked with that group
や
again?
れ。お友達が大切なら、こいつの店に来い。今すぐにだ。
What a bitch. Really, the King gang? So it's the group. Chitane's gonna have to wait. I gotta go save Kim all of a sudden because of this bullshit. They won't leave his ass alone because of a woman that's working at his restaurant. Dude, leave him alone, bro. Alright, here's the gang being all up and ugly right now. We'll get this started.
Kim さん。
八神さん、すみません。
Ready to get your
相
ass
変わ
whooped?
らずムカつく顔だな、優等生やろ。
そっちはそっちで相変わらずの間抜け面だな。
なんてとこら。
おう、そいつが八神さんか。八神さん、噂は聞いてる。あんたえらい喧嘩が強いらしいな。
そりゃどう思う？
俺は本田、京浜同盟の本田レンジだ。よろしく頼むぜ。
ほんで、お前も一緒にこいつを締めるぜ。
一緒に？
行くぞ、てめえら。
Stupid!
おいしい喧嘩だ。大勢でボコるなんざもったいねえったらありゃしねえ。邪魔するってならお前らも容赦しねえぞ。
So he only wants to fight, man.
何なんだよお前。
あんた、俺と喧嘩しろ。
は？
俺はあんたみたいな猛者とやり合うためにこの組織に入ったんだ。
This guy looks like he's gonna be quite the tough guy.
今すぐ俺と喧嘩しろ。
俺暇じゃねえんだけど。
八神さんよ、この世に喧嘩より優先するもんなんてね、違うか？
ああ。
さあ、おしゃべりはおしまいだ。存分に楽しもうぜ。
Let's get started. Are you gonna do anything different, or are you gonna get your ass whooped? What are you gonna do with that? Get your ass beat. Woo! Get out of here. Easy money. Yeah, you're gonna be like Majime who stalks me to fight me everywhere.
こっちはつまらねえ喧嘩に付き合わされてうんざりだよ。
そうか？俺には楽しんでるように見えたぞ。根っからの喧嘩師だぜあんた。だが今日はここまでだ。通行人が殺に通報してやがった。
Not a random bystander snitched on us. It sounds like Grand Theft Auto.
あんたが捕まっちまったんじゃ喧嘩を楽しめねえからな。
Yep.
八神さん、逃げましょう。早く。
What's wrong, Kim?
おい、今日は楽しかったぜ。またやろうな、八神さんよ。
Jesus.
ここまで来れば多分大丈夫です。
キムさん、さっきのやつ、あれ何なの？
噂聞いたことあります。喧嘩狂いのホンダ。京浜同盟四天王の一人だと聞いたことがあります。
Really? There's 4 of these ugly ass.
そんなのがいいの？
They're like the pillars of their group, the strongest of the strongest,
特に
huh?
目立ってい
Highest
る
ranking
4人がそう呼ばれているそうです。葛西、本田、そして榊場、古賀。彼らはそれぞれ派閥を持っていて多くの部下を従えているそうで
This
す。
gang sounds like a whole Yakuza
あと
group
2
at
人も
this
いる
point.
ってわけか。
その中でも古賀派は同盟の中でも最大の派閥と聞きます。武器の密売でたくさんお金を稼いでいるらしいです。だからヤクザも彼らには手が出せない。
Really? You sure about that?
そいつまで出てきたらちょっと厄介だな。
すみません、私のせいで。八神さん、あいつらの中でますます有名になってしまったと思います。
まあいいさ。
八神さん、気をつけてください。
ああ、キムさんもね。
I feel bad for Kim, but I understand, man. I feel bad. That had to be like that. Depending on where you are in the story, how much time has passed, there will be more Kihin gang members swarming the streets than usual. When threat level is present, your chance of encountering Kihin members is higher. Powerful Kihin gang leaders will show up in the city as long as the threat level is present. What does that mean? Does that mean that Honda's gonna be around them? Because it looked like in that mini map in the corner there, it said Honda. So that mean I could run into him randomly? That could be fucking annoying. But he's honestly not even that big of a deal. I am a little worried about Koga because after dealing with what I had to deal with last time in that one episode with the cat, that goddamn cat, that side case had the strongest guy that I thought was somebody who could tango with freaking Joe Amon. That's how strong he was. But if Koga's not as strong as him, I don't expect to see much else. So we'll see about that. But to be honest, bring him on. I don't care. There's nothing too much I can't do about that. But there's all these other friendship things I really want to do. Oh, we have to go at the Genda law office? Oh yeah, I guess Shintani's there. That would make the most sense, wouldn't it? I thought he wouldn't be back there. There's a new friendship here, and I'm a little curious as to who it is.
Here we go again.